Hello and welcome everyone to the Fanatics of Film. We are the trio of terror, raining terror upon the Phantom Menace and whoever is left of the Phantom Menace after this crazy debacle of Star Wars, whatever has become of the cinematic, wonderful cinematic universe and adventure chasm that we used to be able to immerse ourselves in. Before we went live, we were talking to Deep Death by Saber here, and he says that his own son doesn't like Star Wars.
Threw you under the bus early.
It seems to be a generation thing. The kids don't like Star Wars. His friends don't like Star Wars. The kids in the neighborhood, I take out my lightsabers, and they say that's cool. They like the lightsabers, but they don't like Star Wars. Like, nah, Star Wars, nah.
Can't blame them.
We don't like that. Like,
Nothing to like.
I cannot relate to these young punks that are coming up in the world.
Well, I was just saying that it would be actually absolutely heartbreaking because I probably will never have a son or daughter. But if I had a son and he didn't like Star Wars, I don't know what I would do. I wouldn't be able to. Well, of course, you just try to like get into the same stuff that he does or whatever. You try to figure out what he's into: robot dinosaurs, or the Suicide Squad, or the Joker. Right? He liked the Joker?
He laughed on the scene where the midget, the tiny person,
right,
was trying to. Yeah, he laughed like a lot, which was disturbing. I looked at him and like something. This is not right. He's laughing too hard.
Right,
not normal.
Yeah, that's really sad, man. And
he likes Chucky. I don't like Chucky, but he likes Chucky movies.
Like Child's Play.
Yes.
He and I would get along. I love Child's Play.
he dressed up like he dressed up as Chucky. He dressed up as Chucky for Halloween.
Okay. That's funny.
Most disturbing.
Hail Thomas Connolly. Thanks so much. Yeah, no more wonderful adventure we get to immerse ourselves in. No more anymore. No longer. This will end for a while. And according to Kathleen Kennedy and Bob Iger, they're both at odds about the trilogy format. Like, because Kathleen Kennedy said no more trilogy, but Bob Iger was like, I don't know about that. So there's actually a kind of a there's a conflict of power there. You know. Anyway,
how does Kathleen Kennedy have any say over Bob Iger? Iger is like, he's like the emperor, and she's just the Darth Vader. She's just she's the apprentice. She should shut her mouth.
Yeah, Bob Iger's like, what? There's still money to be sucked out of this. We could still, milk this Star Wars and get some money out of it.
We're gonna create a baby Palpatine for the next trilogy that grows up. We're going to show his backstory now. That's what we'll do. We're going to do a prequel. We're going to do the baby Palpatine story.
He just grows up as this baby who is really evil since the womb.
he force chokes his mother in the womb, and then electroshocks himself out of use the force and pulls himself out of the womb.
Does force lightning on the doctor that delivered him. As soon as he clears the lips, if you will, or the bumps.
Yes.
The meat curtains.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I say once the baby clears the two meat curtains, then he'll force lightning the doctor that delivered him. I mean, I'm trying to stay clean. I'm trying to keep it clean here.
Yeah, did a horrible job.
Okay, I'm trying to ask Thomas, have you getting one next year spoilers? Have you seen the movie yet, Thomas? Because we are going to spoil. But before we do that, this is hilarious. So just to give everyone, this is one of the most hilarious reviews of the film. So we're going to lead our review with this guy, Sam. He's a has-been rock star, sweaty method actor, questionable media critic, Christian infant, terrible performer. Pokemon champion anyway. So here he goes. I hate it. I truly, honest to God, hate it. It's the worst kind of blockbuster. Not bad because it has a lot of big ideas that it fails to execute properly, like most of the prequels, but because it tries to hide its lack of ideas and meaningless nostalgia, and spectacle. The entire film is basically a linear search for a shitty MacGuffin in order to pad out the runtime before finally putting up the heroes against the main villain. I'd call it a video game plot, if not for the fact that games know how to do storytelling these days.
Yeah, I was going to say, games are better than that.
Yeah, like the Jedi Fallen Order was a better story, at least so far. It seems like it's a better story than this. Characters act passively, well-known characters, and get nothing to do. Poor Lando, of course. He's shoehorned at the very end of it. New characters don't get developed. Death is used cheaply, etc. Everything is cheapened with this because there's too much power going on. When there's too much power going on, it makes everything trivial, and that's the important part to recognize here. Is that this movie made the Force very it's over the top too much to the point where
it ruined the Force. It legitimately ruined the Force. That's what I think. It ruined the Force because the Force had a set of rules when we first started learning about the Force. Even though I hated the midichlorians at least gave a certain rule to what the Force was. This took the rules and just took a shit on the rule on whatever the Force was. The Force could do anything and everything it needed it to do. She could fly when she needed to fly. She farted force lightning out of her fingers at random. She can heal now because, why not? That kills everything. The healing, to me, kills everything because now you can heal a lightsaber. So why couldn't they heal Harrison Ford? Why couldn't they heal? Yeah, why didn't they heal Qui-Gon? Why didn't they heal? What's it called? Qui-Gon Jinn. If Yoda baby healed, didn't he in the last one? So why couldn't Yoda have healed Qui-Gon Jinn? Why didn't they heal? So stupid. Makes no sense.
Yeah, it cheapens everything that's happened before. As they said before, like they said in the last Jedi, no one's ever really gone with that whole red letter media video showing all the people die in Star Wars. No one's ever really gone. Then all the stakes that we thought were there before or had been active before are gone as well. So it's just everything's cheapened. The biggest part that killed me was the very end when she buries the lightsabers and then they sink into the earth like that. Do you remember that? You guys know what I'm talking about? Yeah. That was the silly, to me, when at that, I mean, I accept so much. And then of course the Palpatine, the lightning threw into the entire fleet. Well, it's like, why didn't you do that before then?
Sorry. Can you do something for me? Because Michael Stark just said, "What's up, Stooges?" Can we do this? Can we do a Three Stooges hello? Where you go, hello, I go, hello, and you go, hello. Can we do that?
Hello.
All right.
Hello.
Hello.
No, you got to do one at a time. So
I'll go first. I'll go first, then Shani, then DBS.
But you have to, when you say hello, you have to keep it going until the last person says it.
Hello.
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 Okay, yeah. Can you guys put the link? Can you guys put the link on High Ground of this live?
Yeah, that's a good idea. So speaking of the Stooges, are the Three Stooges? That would be a fun thing to watch since Michael Stark always said it sounds like he's a Stooges fan. Is that stuff? I wonder if that stuff is actually copyright. If it's copyright free or not, because we could probably show, just do, watch Three Stooges anyway.
I see new people in the chat. I thought
the Three Stooges was Kathleen Kennedy, Ryan Johnson, and J.J. Abrams. I thought those were the Three Stooges.
Yes, the Three Stooges they're Three Stooges trying to decide who to blame at this point. They're trying to find who to blame. Whose fault is it?
Yeah, that's the noise they made when Palpatine first came out.
Why yada?
When Zombie Palpatine made his first appearance, they did that. They're like, yeah.
Well, hey guys, just so you know, we are going to do spoilers. So if you haven't seen it, we're letting you know spoilers will be forthcoming.
Hey Mo, who's this zombie? Yeah.
Yeah.
And the leak to Palpatine was ridiculous. They were like, it's some sort of puppet corpse on some rigging. That's what the terminology of it was, and he was kind of a. I mean, I get it. It's kind of they're trying to make him more monsterish, but it made him look less powerful and
that was ripped off right out of Naruto. I'm telling you, he ripped off the character. I'm telling you, from the beginning, J.J. Abrams has been ripping off Naruto. I don't care if anybody watches Naruto, you will see that Kylo Ren. If you know what I'm talking about, if you've seen Naruto, you will say that Kylo Ren is Sasuke and Rey is Naruto. They're overpowered, but they have a darkness inside of them, a demon inside, and you know it's so bad because even the Naruto run was in this one. Remember, see her Naruto run and then jump over the thing. But the whole story arc, I don't know if you know, with Pain, where Pain actually he was an evil villain who could manipulate people, and he was actually attached with like through pipes and stuff, and he was puppeteering everything. That's exactly what was going on. And then at the end, they used the whole Goku premise of "lend me your power," and then sucked up all the Jedi powers, which is ask you know. What's his name? Rookie Critic. He knows all about the Goku, that whole sequence. Just give me your power, and then you know all the Jedi's give her their power.
So they can literally conjure up, you know, previous powers from others. I mean, I think I would be open to that if it was done organically, if it was done in an organic way. If Palpatine was saying like somehow from beyond the grave, I was able to you know, obtain Darth Plagueis's power and
if something was set up, you mean, like as the way proper writing is done. If these things were properly set up instead of just haphazardly happening when the story needs it to happen, because that's exactly what happens. Everything happens when the story needs it to happen. There is no setup. There is no. It's just this story needs to happen, so this has to happen right after. It's like nothing is earned. Everything is just handed to everybody. All the characters were just handed everything. Just horrible. Horrible writing. Homer Simpson could have wrote better.
He did.